He's had a 3-game streak where he scored 25 or more in each game. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Doris Burke, glad to have you with us. The Wolfpack has won 4 straight over Carolina. They haven't won 5 in a row since 1975.
There's no wine and cheese crowd here tonight, Mr. Patrick. This place is electric already.
NC State controls the opening tip. Ingen Atsur.
Atsur comes way on Turkey at the point guard slot.
Turns it over on the first possession.
I think we're going to see a lot of zone tonight out of, yes, they're right now in a little zone.
They don't have much of a choice with the size mismatches, do they?
Well, they're going a little matchup right now. They're afraid of the rhythm that North Carolina has in their passing game.
Jawad Williams out of the corner.
That'll be the zone, my friends. Shoot right over the top of the zone.
He doesn't shoot that many, but when he does, he's almost a 50% shooter from long range.
Started the season really hot, Jawad Williams. Suffered a number of injuries.
This is Scooter Sherrill. They run that motion offense, get a lot of backdoor cuts, and shoot a lot of threes. They jacked up 41 against Georgia Tech, only 1 short of the school record and 2 short of the ACC record.
Only made 12 in that game. Julius Hodge really was quiet.
Melvin just beats the buzzer and knocked it down.
Big trifecta by Melvin, an inside-outside performer.
Melvin all over McCants. Scott, off-balance jumper, and 1 and done. As the rebound goes to Jordan Collins, the junior who got his 2nd start of his career against Georgia Tech.
They'll bring Efton off the bench. They like the rhythm they get there.
Sherrill can't get the bounce on the 3. He had a horrible slump. Lately, he's been shooting better.
He went 1 for 26 in one stretch. 1 for 26.
Run and gun basketball. Now Scott May inside. I did it again. Sean May scores inside and draws the foul.
You know, Sean May has really struggled the last few games. You look at Herb Sendek, former assistant of Rick Pitino. We send our best wishes to Rick Pitino for a healthy recovery.
And Dick, this stretch coming up for them could really tell you how this season is going to go. And there's Roy Williams. He's got a chance to get back over 500 with a win tonight in the conference, then at Clemson before that meeting at Duke.
You mentioned North Carolina State stretch. You're talking at Maryland, after at North Carolina, and then home with Wake Forest. And try to keep the court open for a lot of backdoor cuts. Try to get good spacing.
6'5", Carolina early. Atsur can't hit the 3.
Atsur, combination guard.
Williams walked.
I thought he walked. They didn't call it.
Well, there was a whistle as well. It may have come from the crowd.
I thought he looked at his pivot foot.
Didn't come from an official, and it's 8-5 Heels.
Hurd very concerned about the transition game, as is everyone that plays North Carolina.
Sherrill penetrates. Got it. Now it's 8-5. It's 8-3.
Nice drive by Scooter Sherrill.
Williams wearing that face mask, and Felton will take a 3 and hit it.
Nice inside-outside combination. Down into the post, bring the ball to the perimeter, knock it down. They have the best threesome assaults in America. Nobody could put 3 second-year players like North Carolina can with May, McCants, and Felton.
Reach in, nearly a steal by Felton, then a foul by Felton as he went after the loose ball. That will be 1 on Felton. NC State has used 7 different combinations in starting lineups this year. Tonight, Collins getting a 2nd start to give them some height inside to go with Melvin, and basically a 3-guard offense. Jawad Williams, McCants, Sean May, Scott and Felton, the usual suspects for Roy Williams.
They got Atsur after they lost Mustafa Shakur, who went out to Arizona as a point guard, and they're recruiting very heavily. They lost Chris Paul, who had committed early to Wake Forest. Shoot!
Boy, is he a cook. Mike O'Donnell is number 4. We'll get to see him tomorrow night against Maryland. And that's out of bounds, another turnover.
Struggling right now offensively, North Carolina State. A look at Herb in that victory over Georgia Tech, as you stated earlier. I mean, the shock to me was they win that game, and Julius Hodge is 0 for second.
And they shoot 41 3-point shots, hit under 30%. Hodge gets 2 points, and they win anyway.
Not down 12. Trying to play a little matchup right here. They want North Carolina to have to take some time off the clock to slow them down a little bit in transition.
Scott looking for Noel, couldn't find it, goes the other side. McCants can't hit it.
He's had 3 big-time games, 27 with Connecticut.
Eftimov a little too deep under on the pass from Hodge.
26 against Florida State and 25 with Virginia for McCants.
Felton tries a no-look pass recovered by McCants. He can't hit it. And again, one and done for the Heels.
For NC State to win, this guy's going to have a big game right here. Julius Hodge. Can't go 0 for 7 and win here on the road.
He is the complete player.
Very versatile. Probably as versatile as anybody in the nation. Execution so important to NC State.
The line working around for a long time, and Hodge has one more field goal in this game than he did against Georgia Tech. His 2 points came on free throws.
He told me he likes this kind of environment, likes this kind of challenge. Talked to him before the game. He said it's going to be a good one.
Oh, he's not going to back down from anything, is he? Noel, short-range jumper, can't hit it. The rebound to Marcus Melvin. It's 11-7. The Heels, after a fast start, have seen their lead cut to 4. Melvin, nice dish to Eftimov, and the circus shot goes in.
Eftimov, so important to this club. They like bringing him off the bench. He may not like coming off the bench, but they like that, having him off the bench.
Missed all last year because of a torn ACL.
Had his first double-double of the year against Georgia Tech.
May, a tough off-balance shot, and another rebound to Melvin, whose rebounding has dramatically improved over a year ago.
Julius Hodge doing a lot of handling of the basketball. Again, showing his multi-dimensional talents. McCants matched up with him.
Kicks it back outside. O'Donnell with a chance to take the lead and gets it. Knocks down the 3. There is nobody shy on this basketball team.
That was created by the penetration ability and the versatility of Hodge. Oh, partner, this place is alive.
Felton goes for the lob and the dunk to McCants.
What a high riser. I think he's the best low post player for a guard in America. He's got to play around the basket a little bit more.
Carolina back by 1. Everybody on this team a pretty good ball handler, too. Eftimov blows down the lane, got by Noel.
Eftimov coming off that big game against Georgia Tech.
This one's knocked into the backcourt. Sherrill trying to save it and can't. We've got a timeout with 13:31 to go first half. State by 1.
Staples, that was easy. And in part by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock. And Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
North Carolina State leading North Carolina by 1. The third member of our broadcast team, Doris Burke. Let's check in with her right now. Doris.
Thanks, Mike. NC State off to a very fast start in the ACC, out at 4-1. But despite that record, they have struggled on the road. Just 1-4 away from home. Why? No mystery. Their points per game down by 20 in an offense that values the three-point shooting ability. They're below 30%. For a team that's the #1 team in the country free throw percentage-wise, their attempts dropped by 12. We'll keep track of this all night, guys, but they've got to get better on the road if they're going to compete for an ACC title.
Hey,
Doris. You're right, Doris.
Nothing like home cooking, baby. Got to eat that home cooking.
And speaking of free throws, NC State gets 20% of its total point production from the line. They have not been to the line tonight. In fact, nobody has.
Well, what about last year? They went 22 for 22 in the victory over North Carolina on this floor.
Yep.
22 for 22.
They have led the ACC the last 2 years. The tie-up possession arrow gives it back to the Heels.
Herb Sendek, as I said, was an assistant on a great staff with Billy Donovan, Clubby Smith, under Rick Pitino at Kentucky. 2 years in a row for the NCAA tournament, 2 years in a row, finals of the ACC tournament.
15 on the shot clock for the Heels, 13-19 on the first half clock in a 1-point game. Terry is in for the first time for North Carolina. And another 3. Felton has hit 2 straight.
They were worried about Felton's penetration ability, and that's why they didn't want to play some man-to-man defense. So he comes down and he shoots right over the top of the zone.
And he has not shot the ball that well from outside this year, only 25%.
North Carolina State trying to make it look like a man-to-man.
Eftemoff, great backdoor pass, and O'Donnell puts it in.
Great look by Eftemoff, coming off a monster game of 11 points and 14 rebounds.
He is so fundamentally sound, as are so many of the European players that come over here. He could play from day one.
He is starting to get a real feel again, getting his timing back. They don't want to deal with his transition ability and running up the court. So they said, we'll let you throw it over the top.
Cameron Bennerman is in for the first time for NC State. He's number 13. This is Williams, who's been cleared not to play with the mask, but wants to anyhow. I don't blame him after a broken nose. The tip by Jackie Manuel, who checks in for the first time. And that's the range that Manuel has confined his shooting to.
There's that man-to-man defense. They got to make a commitment, North Carolina, on the defensive side if they want to be a great team.
Turnaround jumper is short by Bennerman.
In their 3 losses, Mike, when you look at North Carolina in the conference, teams have shot better than 50% against them.
And that's something that really disturbs Roy Williams.
Well, yeah, he's a guy that believes you play on both sides of the floor. He's a teacher.
This is Levi Watkins into the game. Eftemoff inside. Oh, hook!
What a great play. Invert him. He can go inside, outside. Takes advantage of his size. Goes to the post. Scores with a little hook.
Eftemoff has 6, and that was a legitimate hook. Sanders on the way up has it knocked out of his hands. They say last touch by Carolina and out to the Wolfpack. Well, it may be a lost art, but somewhere in Europe, they still teach this. And Eftemoff was watching in class.
You look like George Mikan. George Mikan.
Tied to half at the Dean Dome, and I'm not sure that people really understand how critical this game would be for North Carolina State. If they could pull off a win here, road games are so hard to win. They would be 5-1.
It would be a major win psychologically, too, because they've had such a difficult time on the road. And if they come in here and get a W, it's also devastating to North Carolina, having already lost at home to Wake Forest. So it is a big, big game. And what a rivalry. And I'll tell you something. Basketball is so alive in the triangle again on the Tobacco Road.
Hodge will bring it up man-to-man against Manuel. Great ball handler.
Manuel, good defensive player, very quick.
O'Donnell's one of those hustle guys, a freshman from Largo, Florida.
Eftemoff plays well without the ball. Posts exceptionally well.
Hodge, they run a little weave outside. Shot clock at 9. Manuel, a great defender, and he forces Hodge to make a poor pass.
Manuel did a tremendous job defensively staying between him and the basket.
Sacramento has been at the top of the Western Conference standings all season. Tonight at 9 Eastern, they visit Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets. Kings Rockets available in high definition on ESPN HD. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Stojakovic coming up next. You want to see a guy that can shoot. He might be in the league with J.J. Redick.
Scott passed on that one. McCants will not pass. Gets his own rebound. Room service on that one, right back to him. Manuel forces it up inside. The tip is good by May.
May hanging around the basket. He'd be the first to tell you that he struggled in his last 3 games. 12 for 37. That's not Sean May's talent level.
Dick, he doesn't look to me at times that he can keep up with the tempo from a conditioning standpoint.
It might be a little bit of a fatigue factor. Play so many minutes.
Melvin for 3.
In fact, that could be the reason North Carolina loses a lot of big leads. They've had leads in those games they lost. They had double-digit leads.
May will try a 17-footer, no good. O'Donnell, smart play, tips it. Hodge recovers. Hodge for 3, pressure in his face, can't hit it. Tip back outside by Bennerman. He'll commit the foul.
North Carolina all year, look at this here, leading at halftime. Situations that even though leading only by 2 at Maryland, they were up double digits at one time. 14 up on Connecticut, they survived.
The shocker was FSU.
24.
Yeah, up 14 at the half, up 24 was their biggest lead. Then late in the second half, they got it back to 16. They couldn't seal the deal. And FSU, boy, talk about a team that has come out of nowhere after a terrible stretch. They moved back into contention.
They lose 4 in a row, and they beat in a matter of 1 week. They beat Carolina and Wake Forest.
And they had beaten Maryland at home earlier. Scott for 3. He has become a very reliable outside shooter.
That's the one area they have really been dangerous with. But I know Roy Williams wants them to be a little bit more versatile at shooting just 3.
Wide open Watkins, and it's out of bounds to North Carolina.
They started to go to the 3 exclusively in a game you and I had with Florida State, and it led to their downfall in the second half. Look at that right now. If NC State were able to win, they'd be 5-1. Who'd have believed it?
And North Carolina, on the other hand, can get back to 500. But should they lose, they would be 2-4 in a conference that is ultra competitive.
That's putting it mildly.
May inside, good position, and powers it in.
Can't allow him to get that deep and spread that body with those great hands and footwork. He is so effective when he gets the ball in deep.
That's the biggest lead, 7 points. Herb Sendek wants a 30-second timeout.
Good timeout. Needed it badly.
Dick, on that last play, I thought Marcus Melvin made a good decision. May gets the ball down low. Melvin knows he's got to stay out of foul trouble. Once he's got it there, he makes sure he doesn't foul.
Yeah, he gets an easy layup, gets the good angle. Post position is so important. You got to deny, you got to beat up to the spot.
Doris has more on Ilya Eftimov. Doris.
Well, guys, when Herb Sendek was trying to describe the value Eftimov has on his basketball team, he referred to him as the Phillip Rivers of the basketball team. Of course, Phillip Rivers, the outstanding quarterback for NC State football. Why? Well, he's got a lot of skills, guys. He can attack the rim. He's also an outstanding passer. He can score in, he can score out. In that motion offense that values passing ability and the ability to be able to switch positions, play inside and out, Eftimov brings all of that.
They really do a great job inverting their players. They bring them from the perimeter to the inside, Doris, and they do it exceptionally well. That's the double up.
Atzor back in at the point guard in the double team trap. Forces the turnover. That's 4 against State.
Good trap right there by May, rotating out.
Shook up the freshman a little bit. Carolina's only turned it over once in this half. You play 12 minutes with 1 turnover, you should have the lead. They're up by 7.
Now to play a little man-to-man. It's something that they love, North Carolina. They could score. They could flat-out score.
Lead the nation.
Pretty good.
Felton under pressure. Excellent defense that time by Atzor. Got right over the top. Melvin. Got it.
I tell you, he's got touch.
He's hit 2 bombs and has 6 points.
Man-to-man defense. They got Eftimov now playing against May. See, he beats him with his feet, beats him to the spot.
Absolutely. Very technically sound defender.
Great ball reversal, swinging the ball side to side.
Atzor got the rebound and fouled by David Noel, a sophomore from Durham.
You know, he played brilliantly, Atzor, for the Turkish team in the games out in Europe and the European Championships, and that's where they found him because they lost Mustafa Shakur, who was an outstanding high school player, went to Arizona.
7:47 to go first half. Carolina on top of State by 4. Geez, already a chance to be 20-1, isn't that amazing?
Amazing. I'll tell you one thing, Pittsburgh now going for 19, a phenomenal year they've had. Jamie Dixon, my diaper dandy rookie of the year.
Long 3 by Levi Watkins, who's a 38% long-range shooter, and we have a 1-point game again.
Yeah, Watkins has great range as a shooter. Came off knee surgery in 2001.
Scott, offensive foul. Eftimov had position and may have put a little theatrics 101 into it as well.
I tell you, they really love shooting the 3. Watch a little theatrics, little acting job. Little Jack Nicholson right there.
I don't think Scott's strong enough to knock Eftimov down on one of his best days, let alone on that drive.
Hey, we're going to have another good game tomorrow. I can't wait. Wake Forest of Maryland. You know Wake's going to be hungry. Was their first game at home in 2 years last week.
State with a chance to regain the lead.
Herb's coming off a win in great second half against Clemson.
And there's a great second half that they needed, too. Left them off baseline.
He's such an excellent passer, left them off.
O'Donnell can't hit the three, and Noel with a rebound.
David Noel, very athletic, originally committed here for football. Got smart and said, forget about the pigskin.
You know, if you want to watch something interesting, watch three-point shooters after they shoot. I don't think I have ever seen a year where more three-point shooters have been knocked down with no calls made of. I think people have just gone ahead and decided they're going to foul guys after the shot.
Oh, what a great
pass to Melvin from Watkins.
What a super play. Backdoor cut. Melvin out of their offense. They spread the court.
All the guys on this NC State team can handle the ball, and they can all pass.
They run that motion game really well. A lot of Princeton basketball.
Lob, Jawad Williams knocked away by Eftimov, and you could hear that it was all ball.
I'll tell you, Watkins made a great look. They execute that in practice on a regular basis. Didn't expect to execute it right here that easily. And there it is. Melvin showing he can run a backdoor cut.
The Wolfpack with an 8-0 run to regain the lead. Williams backing in on Eftimov. Manuel got free because of the double team.
Well, you know, on the interior, they got that open look with the double team on the post, and nobody rotated over. Poor job rotating defensively. Then you are spreading the court, keeping the middle open, no post player.
O'Donnell trying to use it and can't get inside.
They love to spread the court, and Eftimov such an excellent passer.
O'Donnell gets free. Manuel, great job of switching to cover up. There's the lob inside to Watkins, knocked away. And a foul inside will be called against Jackie Manuel. That will be his first. Brown is very unhappy.
Got a little lucky on that scene right there. Telegraphed that. Telegraphed it. Try to throw the lob over the top. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I see what Manuel did. He grabbed the jersey and pulled the player. That's why he got the foul. There was no contact as he went by him, but then he grabbed him to keep him away from a loose ball. Smart play, and they caught it. This will be on Felton, and that's his second, and the crowd is really upset.
Well, he grabbed him right there. There was no doubt about that, Mike. No doubt. A silly play right there defensively. He's even told Roy's talking to the team about it. That's a silly play. Throwing the ball in mass. He's too smart. He's one of the premier point guards in America, along with Jameer Nelson and Chris Duhon. And certainly you got to think about Devin Harris at Wisconsin and Miles at Kansas.
Felton's having a pretty good half. 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. That foul was on Jackie Manuel. It will be his second. It's been a seesaw game in this bitter, long-standing rival. ACC Wednesday presented by Staples. Glad you could join us from the Dean Dome, where we have nearly 22,000, as usual, on hand. First time NC State's gone to the free throw line tonight.
Well, 22 for 22 last year on this floor. Think about that. Oh, 22 for 22 last year. It's a new year.
And Jordan Collins, for a big kid, is a good free throw shooter. He's 80%. They lead the league at 78.5, and they're 11th in the country as a team.
Played at a great high school program, DeMatha High School, where they produced so many players out of the Maryland area.
And they produce smart players, too.
Now they're back in that matchup. Hodge at the top of it with the long wingspan, trying to bother the perimeter shooters.
Terry, number 3, is in for North Carolina. He doesn't get many minutes. They try to go inside to Jawad Williams.
I think they're using Terry and Sanders a little bit is because of a stamina factor.
Tomorrow night, great NCAA action on ESPN2. Starting at 7, Maryland goes to Winston-Salem to battle the Deacons. Then at 9, Tim Pickett and Florida State will try to stop J.J. Redick and the number 1 Duke Blue Devils at Cameron Indoor. Is there anybody hotter than J.J. Redick?
I'll tell you, shooting the ball, Duhon's playing phenomenal as well. Well, what about Florida State, the Seminoles? They've already posted 2 W's nobody expected.
Remarkable.
North Carolina and Wake Forest, and now they got the 3rd coming up with Duke. Trying to break that long home winning streak, second in the nation, Duke, behind Pittsburgh.
May. Back to McCants, and he lost a tough pass by May.
Not a good look right there.
No.
At all. Not a good look. I mean, that was telegraphed. He was not open.
And a bounce pass at a cutter's knees isn't going to work very often.
They've done a good job containing McCants tonight. This Spreading the court. They'll make you work defensively. You got to play more than one pass. You got to play like 4 or 5 passes.
Hodge is back in for NC State.
A lot of defenses break down after the 3rd pass.
Just like that.
There it is.
Noel lost his man, Jordan Collins, and Collins with his first field goal.
They force a lot of mismatches with that offense as well. What I meant earlier, Mike, is the fact that a lot of teams play the first pass really well, but they break down on the 2nd and 3rd and 4th pass. There's a screen up on top. Now watch this right here. They spread the court exceptionally well. Watch it right here now. They watch him on the inside. They're going to throw the ball down on the interior. There it is, the lob over, force a mismatch.
Well, Noel just got completely turned around, lost track of his man.
You got to see more, you man. Did not see both.
He didn't see either.
That'll not get it done.
Oh, no. And that's what has bothered Roy Williams about his defense all year long. And look at NC State swarm defensively.
They're doubling up on May inside.
McCants with the screen, gets open, forget it.
I would like to see him drive a lot more. He's so athletic, so explosive. I think he's playing a little bit too much on the perimeter shooting threes, but he's doing it well. And I really believe that that kid's not taking advantage of his unbelievable athletic ability.
Reach in, Manuel with a steal. Hodge is back.
Oh, big time play.
Jackie Manuel
brings the house down, baby. Brings the house down. That's a momentum builder right there. Carolina faithful love it. That'll make the human highlights full. That'll make Sports Center.
Boy, Hodge thought he had him measured after he picked up the ball. Hodge is looking for a block. Watch this.
Big time play. Big time play on the baseline. ACC basketball. It's fantastic, baby. Up, up, and away. Jackie Manuel.
And up trying to play up-tempo. North Carolina State trying to play deliberate.
North Carolina's got to get the ball inside. They can't afford to shoot threes with this team.
See you in a few minutes, guys.
All right, fellas, thanks. 32-29, North Carolina by 3. You know, with all the coaches getting sick and everything, Dick Vitale is available for 10-day contract.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. I wrote my book, and I firmly believe in it. With the stress out there, I would have never made it past 50. I took the losses too hard, and I feel, and I want to send my best wishes for a speedy recovery to Rick Pitino, Rick Majerus. We need those kind of people in our college profession as teachers, motivators. And with Rick, it looks like it's good news for Mr. Pitino. Let's hope and pray we'll get good news out of Rick Majerus.
McCants penetrates, draws a foul. Will be on Scooter Sherrill. That's his first.
Take a look at Rick Majerus, 20 years as a head coach at Utah. Has done a phenomenal job while he's been there. I guess everyone has been documented. He's had a little heart problem and is now in a hospital in Santa Barbara, California. He's got to start thinking of himself and being a little selfish now, not worried about basketball. Get well, Rick.
Sherrill took it away from Mays, got Hodge with him.
He says, no, Julius, I'm taking this right to the rack. He's almost like you don't give me the mic.
That's all sure. Oh, yeah. 32-31. Oh, here's another steal. This is Hodge. Manuel is back. Boy, and that's a credit to Jackie Manuel. Hodge changed his shot simply because he knew Manuel was there.
Yeah, he started thinking about it, Mike.
Another one.
He had an easier layup. Give it up.
3 straight steals by North Carolina State has led to the lead. Watkins got that fast.
And you know what you credit that to? Scouting, evaluating, the ability to look at film. They anticipated those passes and those movements in their passing game and stepped right in the passing lane. Hodge could have made a layup. Hodge did not have to try that fancy of a shot. I know Manuel stepped in, but he had himself an easier look. Now look at this, stepping in the passing lane. Nice little pass right there. Gave it up. Little reverse layup. Good.
Manuel will go to the free throw line, which normally is the last place he wants to be. Although he does have his average up over 51%. It was in the mid-40s before.
Had a good game against Virginia. Had 7 rebounds. They came back after that Florida State debacle and blew out Virginia. Beat them by 19, especially in the second half. Took over after a close first half.
Jackie Manuel at the line has become only a defensive specialist, and his range is only a couple of feet. He has been tremendously successful that way. He's a great slasher.
You know, I was thinking about Virginia. You take them out of the ACC. Look at Hodge showing his versatility. Put him in some other conferences.
They'd be winning some ball games.
A lot of ball games.
Yeah, I think so too.
Their tough luck is how tough this conference is.
NC State has gone up by 3. Jawad Williams back in.
And what's created the three-point lead has been their defensive effort.
Williams off the back of the rim.
Doing a great job defensively against that potent offensive attack that leads the nation in scoring.
Hodge tries to penetrate and draws the foul.
Hodge Jr. out of New York made a smart decision coming back to school. Look at McCants and Hodge. Got them both contained. Hodge doing a great job distributing the ball. McCants, if he's not scoring, he really stands around a little too much. I think he takes a lot of where guys take pictures of him. I don't think he realizes, you know, how good he can be with that athletic ability.
This was really big for Jackie Manuel. Their best defender picks up his 3rd foul and has to sit down with a minute 25 to go in the half. And Hodge, who is one of the ACC's premier free throw shooters, last 8 games he shot 95% from the line. He's number 2 to J.J. Redick. Nobody is going to catch Redick. He has actually missed 2 this year.
Everybody's number 2. You know, I think of him coming back to school, great decision. And then I think of Josh Powell, who made one of the worst decisions ever. I don't know who he listened to, but he's bouncing around now in Italy. Could be here, improving his stock. I think along with Omar Cook and Marcus Taylor, 3 worst decisions I've seen.
NC State with its biggest lead, and Williams attacks them inside. Sacramento Kings have been at the top of the conference standings all year long in the West. Tonight, Yao Ming, Steve Francis, and the Rockets take them on. To get ESPN HD, just call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today. Jawad Williams is a very good free throw shooter. Hits that one.
I tell you, Mike, what I mean by 3 of the worst decisions when I talk about Omar Cook and I talk about Mr. Marcus Taylor at Michigan State and Josh Powell, those guys had a chance. If they stayed in school, they would have improved their stock.
Absolutely.
And been draftable players in terms of maybe first-round choices.
Hodge had effed him off wide open on a backdoor cut and missed him. It would have been an easy layup.
Remember, people, North Carolina State's won the last 4 meetings between these 2 teams.
Under a minute to go. State by 3 over Carolina.
Playing man-to-man. Really doing a great job anticipating passes, anticipating movement.
Atsor not afraid to get the short. 30 goes down and picks up the loose ball. Freshman's been a little shaky tonight with his passing. Working against Scott. Shot clock at 15.
North Carolina trying to work a lot harder and commit to the defensive end.
Half them off. No look pass to Hodge. Scott got a piece of it on the way up. Great pass, and he couldn't finish.
So
and
tough.
A timeout for the Heels.
So tough to defend many of those cuts.
Eftimov, a complete player. As we celebrate our 25 years of college basketball, time to flash back in the ESPN archives.
Vince Carter really looks impressive tonight. He's got the great legs. He's got tremendous jumping ability. Oh, that's unbelievable! Incomparable! Invincible! That could be a big, big boost.
And throughout the season, we'll show you something from our archives in every one of our nearly 400 games. These are great dunkers that have come out of North Carolina.
What about North Carolina State? We got North Carolina. What about Spud Webb? Spud Webb. Spud Webb won the NBA.
Yeah, I know. He did a great job. David Thompson was not allowed to dunk. He may have could have been the most spectacular thing you ever saw. And for those who never got a chance to see him play, man, oh, man.
Would you agree? Best player ever in the ACC.
Certainly the best forward ever and probably the best player.
Oh, he was incredible.
And it's a shame he had so many personal issues. Pass inside Williams. Had it blocked. Great defense inside by Collins. They run the break. Can't hit the shot, but a foul with 2.1 seconds to go.
Why not give it back to Hodge? A simple give and go. 2-on-1, you give it back to your PTP here.
Melvin Scott picks up his second. And Ingen Atsur goes to the line. He was recruited heavily out of Turkey.
Came on strong in their recruiting line when they had to get a point guard after losing Shakur, and certainly losing early. They lost Chris Paul. Even Mike Nardi they were after as well, and lost him. Who's out of Villanova.
This young man speaks 4 languages, as does Eftimov.
I wish I could speak one.
You and I struggle with our native tongue. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Well, Astor and Eftimov combined to speak 6 languages, guys. In fact, Atsur in practice will sometimes go to Eftimov and have him translate something Sendek says into French so he can understand what it is. I imagine it's of value not to be able to hear and understand everything the coach says at times, guys.
Oh, steal, no good.
Steal at the buzzer, can't get the shot off in time, but a comeback first half for North Carolina State after the Heels had built up what looked like to be a reasonably comfortable lead. Our halftime score, NC State 38, North Carolina 34. And NC State has won the last 4. Can they make it 5? Let's join Reese Davis in the studio for the Bank One halftime games to North Carolina State. They have not lost 5 straight since 1975. One of the things that brought the Wolfpack back tonight, 7 first-half steals. And the bench produced 16 points as Herb Sendek went deep into his bench.
They did a great job with their defensive effort, Mike. Their defense was absolutely, I thought, the key, especially late in that half, anticipating the passes in the passing game. And remember this, they held North Carolina to 34 points. They're averaging 88.4 to lead the nation. That's doing a great job.
And this is exactly, maybe a little faster than they want, but the tempo that North Carolina State likes and the score level they like.
Exactly. They don't want to go up and down in the 90s. They have no shot.
38-34 as we start the second half. Melvin comes back to help out against the press. This is a tough team to press. They all handle it so well.
And they spread that court. They want you to overplay because they want to run that backdoor cut. If they catch you staring at the ball, there it is.
Sherrill trying to get inside and lost it to May.
It is so difficult to get kids who play away from the ball to see ball you man. Guys play the ball usually tough, but it's away from the ball.
McCants may have thrown 1 pass too many as he had a shot in the lane and passed on it.
I really like Rashad McCants. I love his ability, but I would love to see him drive more, attack the basket. He's checking Hodge now, not known as a great defender. He's improved his defense so much. He's doubling up right now. Somebody's going to be open.
Powell had a tip picked by Williams. Felton on the run, couldn't control it, and then he's knocked down and fouled by Sherrill. That will be 3 on Scooter Sherrill. Let's check in with Doris Burke.
Thanks, Mike. Roy Williams talked about 2 things. He said, taking better care of the basketball is our first job. Those 3 turnovers in succession led to easy baskets where we couldn't set up our defense. He said, where the backdoor cuts are concerned, we need more pressure on the basketball to harass that passer so he can't see, guys. Back to you.
That's a great analysis. You want to harass the passer so he can't get the good look. There's another steal.
Sherrill had to reverse it and got the roll.
Wow.
Boy, they've made it tougher than it should be on those breakaways.
Yeah, they really have. They're looking for a degree of difficulty. What did I think? They got 3 for that? This is
the
not
Russian
diving.
judge gave it a 5-7.
This is not diving. Jay Billis didn't give him a 5.7. Lavin gave him a 4.2.
40-34. Great drive by Felton. Couldn't finish the shot. Williams had the rebound, knocked away. Felton comes out with it.
Changing defenses, matching up. There's the matchup.
Wide open. Scott short on the jumper. McCants with a tip. Knocked out of bounds, and it is off of North Carolina State.
They are trying to make them become an exclusive long-range shooting team. Even though they're very effective as a team, you got to take your chance. And their chance is outside. They'd rather have that opportunity.
May gets it in the lane and draws the foul.
He's got to get some touches inside. We've documented so many times. Dad, player of the year at Indiana. Last unbeaten team to run the table, 1976. I think St. Joe's has a great chance to run the table of the regular season. We're talking regular season. Last one to do that was Vegas in '91.
And Vegas was perceived by everybody as a lock to win the NCAA at the end.
Yeah, because the year before they beat Duke by 30 in the championship. Return Larry Johnson and Stacey Ortman and company. People were talking about them as the next greatest team of all time until Bob Hurley and company said bye-bye in the semifinal.
May hits a couple of free throws. It's a 4-point game.
Trying to go to a half-court trap now, North Carolina. Got a post up. Oh, there's the skip pass. Very effective against the trap.
Another double team against Atzor, who has turned the ball over a couple of times tonight. Sherrill with it. Powell, guarded by May. Goes with the right hand, will draw the foul.
Trying to spread the court against that half-court trap. Go to a 2-1-2 set.
One on Sean May.
Now watch the steal right here by Scooter Sherrill. He's going to step right in a passing lane. Now watch this right here. Degree of difficulty. Now take the layup. Take the layup. There's a little 4.5. Reese Davis says give him a 6.2. Now look at this. Reverse layup. Somebody probably told him you get 5 for that.
Powell gets the roll on the free throw. Excuse me, Jordan Collins, who was injured much of last year, has a good touch for a big kid.
He's really improved, too. Lost some weight. But you know, Mike,
and got stronger.
Stat that blew my mind in preparing for the game is the fact they went 22 for 22 on the road to win the game. I mean, that is really taking advantage of special situations.
Led the ACC in free throw shooting the last 2 years. This year, 78.5%. May kicks it outside. Felton's already hit a couple of bombs, and he makes it 3 on the night. Felton with 9 points.
He gets open because of the post presence of May on the inside. With May getting the ball inside, you go inside, outside, he's wide open. May's post presence created that opportunity.
Atzor had a tough time getting it across the timeline against Felton, beat it by 1 second. And now only 15 on the shot clock. They haven't even started their offense.
Bounce the ball to the 10.
Sherrill launches, air ball. Felton pushes it ahead to Scott. No basket, but a foul.
That's North Carolina out there best. When they win that transition game, when they kick that ball out, fill the lane, nobody runs better, baby, because everybody loves Freeman. Now take a look right here. The reason that we're going to watch Felton get open is going to be the post presence inside. Freeze it right there. See, his presence right here draws people, and he's going to bring the ball back right out for an open shot. There it is, wide open. I want to shoot that J, man. I want to shoot that J.
Jawad Williams is the injured player, and you can see blood dripping from his nose, and if he got whacked again, remember, he had broken it earlier. That's why he was wearing the mask for protection. The doctors had cleared him to take it off, but he decided he was going to continue to play with it at least for a while.
Jawad's had a tough time this year. A lot of injuries have come his way. Caught an elbow in the face.
From Scott, his own man.
Also had a concussion earlier this year. Then had the broken nose against Georgia Tech. And there it is. Look at his number of injuries. He collided with Jared Jack of the Ramblin' Wreck.
And they were very careful with him after that earlier concussion when he broke his nose. They were afraid he had had another concussion, and 2 that close together is a little scary, but they tested him out thoroughly. He did not have a concussion, so was able to come back a little quicker. But with the blood, they're going to have to take him to the locker room and stop that flow before he can come back out.
A lot of concern by Roy Williams, Steve Robinson, and Joe Halliday. Outstanding staff. Boy, Roy Williams has brought back a buzz. Don't you feel a buzz here?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's a buzz, man. How can you stat that blows my mind? North Carolina went 2 years in a row, not 500 in the ACC. It's unheard of.
And you know what was interesting is that so many people, because of their dominance in the ACC over the years, so many people had grown to hate the Tar Heels and bitter rivalries. Even if they had no chance to beat them, they really disliked them. And everybody the last 2 years was sort of missing the fact that they weren't great anymore.
Well, you know, everybody doesn't like 2000. They don't like the Yankees. They don't like people that win.
NC State by 1.
Spreading the court, 2-1-2 set. After the ball, excellent passer at the post area. Now rotates inside.
Bad pass by Hodge.
Give it up.
Noel.
Nice.
Great ball movement. Felton got it back to Noel.
What a great feel for the game by Felton. Everybody loves Raymond, one of the premier point guards in America. Nice touch pass. Understands the game.
He leads the ACC in assists, and he is third in the nation.
And there's that 1-3-1 half-court trap.
It's been effective so far. It's helped them regain the lead.
You got to step to the ball in the middle. Hodge has got to step to the ball at the high post area.
They have used 20 seconds off the shot clock, haven't gotten within 20 feet. Sherrill will try a three. Melvin, great rebound.
What a terrific offensive rebound. Melvin right on the inside.
Boy, Noel was open, didn't realize it, got it to May. May, offensive foul. That'll be 2 on May. The crowd didn't like it, but I thought it was a good call.
You did? I thought it was a bad call, Mike. I thought it was a bad call.
Well, you're usually right.
No, I'm not. But I agreed there. But you know what? I got my bad left eye on that side. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But I thought right there that guy was moving into his lane.
No, I thought it was a good call.
All right. I guess it's one of those we can argue all day long. Referee's going to count anyway. So
yes, it is.
There's that half-court trap again. You must step to the basketball.
And Melvin throws it away.
They're not stepping to the ball, Mike. Not stepping to the ball.
State leads, but now by only 1. They did it!
Maintains a 1-point edge over North Carolina, and it's interesting to look at the North Carolina State bench production over the course of the season. Tonight it was outstanding in that first half. 42% of their offense for a team that's used 7 different starting lineups, has 9 guys averaging double-digit minutes. That's the kind of production you would expect, guys. North Carolina State, their depth has been questioned all season long. Their points production right on line where it should be. 82% of it coming from their starters. And guys, just a note on Jawad Williams. He has nothing more than a bloody nose. He will be available as soon as the bleeding stops, guys.
I'm sure it's a great relief to them, Doris. Thank you. 15:45 and counting in this one. A critical game for North Carolina. They are 1 under 500 in the league. Bad pass that time and a rare one by Felton.
Man-to-man defense come out of the half-court trap. Hodge being played by Felton right now. You think he could go inside, invert and post him a little bit. He's going to try to slide inside. See, slide and post him on the inside.
Eftimov tries to go down the lane and walk.
Good call by Montanaro. Hey, you know they honored your soccer women's team at halftime. Ready for this? 18 national championships. Anson Dorrance. Unbelievable. They're doing a book on his unbelievable career. Tim Crothers, formerly of Sports Illustrated, writing a book about him.
They have had a remarkable program here. Jawad Williams is back on the bench. Should be checking in when he has the opportunity. O'Donnell kicks that one, so there will be a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
Tempo so important in this game, as Jay Billis mentioned. Bottom line is, if you're North Carolina, you want a faster-paced game. You're North Carolina State, you want to make it 5-on-5. This guy has such great instincts.
The lob to Manuel, and he missed it. Holy cow.
He couldn't lay that any better. Great vision. I just love that kid. One of my favorite players. Mr. Felton.
They love to have Eftimov out at the top of the circle because he passes as well as anybody. That's one just nicked the net, and there's Eftimov down, fighting to get control of the ball. Possession arrow will give it to North Carolina. This one has been like a prize fight. We've had a couple of bloody noses in this one. Wow. What you need is a good cut man in the NC State North Carolina series.
Where's Angelo Dundee? Get Dundee in that corner.
No, he wasn't a cut man. I can't remember a cut man.
He was a manager.
Yes,
he's a great manager.
Jawad Williams only 7 points tonight. Rashad McCants is the guy who's been pretty invisible. He's the ACC's leading scorer. Hodge is second, same for him.
They've done a great job defending on McCants. Now there he is. They can't stop him in there. Will somebody tell him he's the best low post player?
McCants on cue gets the field goal. He has 7, and the Heels are back on top.
Mike, he's unstoppable in a low box. He's the best low post player for a guard in the country.
Felton with a steal.
There it is. Get a TO, baby.
They want to run.
They're rocking and rolling here, babe. This place is alive. No wine and cheese.
And steals usually mean an easy 2.
The two Souths, Felton and McCants, have to do that more often. Take a look at him posting right here. Watch him post on that box. He says, you can't stop me, Julius.
And that's giving away 3 inches to a good defender, Julius Hodge. Manuel with a steal. Hodge is back.
Big time play.
Jackie Manuel quickly became one of Roy Williams' favorite players because he is doing exactly what he asked him to do. The last 4 minutes, the Heels on an 11-2 run to regain the lead, and there is a 3 knockdown from the corner by Levi Watkins, tied at 47. Watkins has 8.
They did an excellent job attacking that 1-3-1 with a 2-1-2 set. He went even against Odd and then reversed the ball and got the baseline wide open jump shot.
Oh, Watkins is reaching out both arms. Now he and McCants really wolfing at each other. Watkins will pick up the foul, and he was really asking for it because he had pushed McCants twice on that same drive.
Yeah, not called for right there, but did a great job knocking down a 3. Watkins. You know, I look at Roy Williams, I think about an 80% win record at Kansas, averaged 28 wins a year, 4 Final Fours, 9 regular season titles. I mean, unbelievable. 4 times National Coach of the Year. Yes, the Dean Smith Duke era is back here.
And it was a torturous decision for him, as you see the 12 lead changes, because he had turned down this job once before to stay at Kansas. Things changed a little bit in the athletic department, and it really opened the door for North Carolina to make another run. And it's the only reason this was going to happen. And Eftimov will be called for a foul. Tough call against him, Atzor, because he went for the steal. The ball bounced the wrong way, and he picks up the person.
Yeah, Atzor definitely found him right here, no doubt about it. Here he is, diving for the ball. He makes contact, takes him in a little body block.
Felton was just a little bit quicker, got to the ball first. That's the reason Atzor gets the foul.
Chuck Amato would have liked that play, I'll tell you that.
That's right.
He would have loved it.
13 minutes to go. Williams down low, powers his way in, and then missed the shot. Boy, he had great position.
Scooter Sherrill's got to get going. He had 22 last year to win here. Knocked down 4 big threes. Knocked down 3 big threes against Georgia Tech in the last game.
There's a hold on Noel before the shot. That will be 2 on David Noel as he protests his innocence.
William Bush with the call, along with a veteran duo with Mike Wood and Bob Donato.
$47 all.
Just a way of life for the ACC.
Yeah,
tomorrow will be another one.
In the ACC.
It'll be the same tomorrow when Maryland and Wake hook up. 2 good point guards, and John Gilchrist and Chris Paul and Mike McNamee struggling a little bit, but he's so talented.
Spread the court, try to get the middle open like that, and the pass a little strong off the hands of Sherrill. Felton pushes it to Manuel. Manuel's trying to drive. He doesn't want the shot from out there. Can't hit it. Atzor lost it. And the foul as McCants goes in and is fouled by Eftimov.
Well, that's a great move by McCants going to the basket. Tomorrow be on that group as well. McNamara down at Syracuse, Paul Davis at Michigan State, Lacey right. Hey, what about Indiana? Winning 5 in a row. They're 5-1 now in the Big Ten.
And knocking off Purdue. McCants hits the free throw. He's not only #1 in the ACC in scoring, he's 10th in free throw shooting, 7th in field goal percentage, and 7th in three-point percentage. Has 8 tonight.
He's been really on fire, as you said earlier, Mike. 3 games in a row with 27, 26, 26.
With Reddick, he was the ACC Co-Player of the Week. Reddick in ACC games is shooting 58% from three-point range.
That's all?
58!
You mean he missed 42% of his shots? I can't believe that.
That's right.
Here comes that pressure on the ball by Felton. Good pressure right there. That's what you want your point guard to do. Harass the basketball, disrupt the offensive system. And that's what Roy Williams told Doris Burke. He got to bother the passer.
Eftimov got away with a push-off, and then Noel recovered a block it.
Terrific block by Noel. Showing that athletic ability. Why he was a football standout. Give it to May inside.
He's fighting for position to try and get it, being fronted by Watkins.
Right now, give it to him.
He's got it against Eftimov. 2 quick fouls on Ilyan Eftimov, and this will go to the 1-1. 11:36 to go in the half. It is a 2-point lead. Noel with some defense to keep the Heels on top. May will go to the line on the 1-1. He's a 70% free throw shooter.
Had that tough injury last year. Let us not forget to salute Matt Doherty and a great job he did recruiting these players. I mean, think about the class he recruited.
Yeah, the cupboard is hardly bare with Roy Williams coming to Chapel Hill. May is now 4 for 4 from the line, 10 points.
And that's another tough dilemma that Roy Williams was faced with. I mean, Matt Doherty was a loyal soldier to him as an assistant coach. To step into that scenario, he didn't even like the way it was handled. And Matt Doherty, I hope he gets another job. He deserves one.
The Heels get the lead up to 4 with 11:36 to go. Here is 4. 15th ranked North Carolina on top of NC State. The Wolfpack comes in 4-1 in the ACC, second only to Duke. But right now they're down by a couple of buckets. And Julius Hodge has only scored 6 points in this game, none in the second half. Mistake here as he picked up the dribble and then threw it away to May. Back to Scott.
What a nice pass by May. Very fundamentally right there. Had an understanding of what to do with the ball. The big guy gave it to the little guy for a layup.
Julius Hodge with an uncharacteristic error, and then nobody helped him out by coming to it.
He's made several passing mistakes by telegraphing the ball.
Felton reached in, knocked it away, and they're going to say it was off at Sewer and out of bounds to the Heels.
It's getting to be a danger moment right now for North Carolina State. Right now, they're telegraphing passes. Take a look right here. He's telegraphing. He's showing exactly where he's throwing that ball. That's a Marconi special, man. Telegraphed it. What a nice pass by Felton. Take a look right here. Look at his eyes. You can see where that ball's going. Right there, step in the passing lane. Raymond says, thank you, Julius.
That's very lazy stuff by Julius Hodge.
Yeah, really, you got to really understand where people are. And the receiver's got to step to the ball.
May back to McKeon. Back to May. A two-man game. May baseline, too strong. Who gets it? The Heels.
William Bush with the call. White. You heard him screaming it out.
ACC Wednesday presented by Staples. Glad you could join us from the Dean Dome. It's been a seesaw game. And Carolina right now back on top by 6. Make it 8 because Felton wide open on the inbounds pass. The biggest lead of the night for the Tar Heels.
What a breakdown defensively. Lack of communication. A lack of seeing ball and man right there on a simple inbounds play. I mean, they're getting themselves in a little trouble now. They're 8 down.
And the Wolfpack getting nothing out of Julius Hodge. He is not even taking a shot here in the second half. Melvin loses another one.
What a great job defensively by North Carolina. They have stepped it up in the last 4 minutes on the defensive side. Dump it into May.
Well, I smell a 3 coming. There it is. So did he.
Right now, you're Hodge. You got to step it up, man.
He's not even out there right
they
now.
took him out. Yeah.
It's just been ice cold. O'Donnell bumped on the way in. Tries a circus shot off balance. Can't hit it. Made Emmanuel. Good job to get it to Scott. He dribbles into traffic. Lost it out of bounds. It'll be out to North Carolina.
They are taking Hodge.
We told you at the start of the game, Dick, about the Star Watch. Hodge only 6 points. McCants has only 9. These are the 2 leading scorers in the ACC. And now Hodge will come back into the ball game.
Well, you know, they're taking him out. The bottom line point I wanted to make was for them to win, Hodge has got to step up and make some big plays. They cannot win without him not being a PT here. He's got to make the big play for them to have a chance to win this game.
In addition to not scoring, he's had 5 turnovers. Oh, Felton just blows by Eftimov. Couldn't finish it. That's going to be a foul on May. That's 3 on the center.
Excellent call by Michael Ward.
Whoa!
No,
it's on Hodge.
They got away with one right there, Mike. I agree with you.
They fooled both of us, didn't they?
Yeah, they did there. Well, with the reverse layup, going to make the reverse, hang it in the air, acrobatic style. There's been, I
see. Well, he used the forearm to shield off the rebounder. I should have known better than to question Mike Wood. Great officials, a good officiating crew with Bogdanato and William Bush.
Playing him. Hodge really tough. They're going to lay some screens for him. He's got to move without the ball a little bit more. He's drifting on a perimeter too much.
Melvin nearly picked again. Boy, North Carolina's defense has really stepped up in the second half.
You can see they've made a commitment. They made a commitment to come out and play some D.
Eftimov, tough pass, shot clock down to 7, and they just toss it up in the air for another fast break. Felton overpassed. That ball was kicked. They'll get it back. Let's check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Mike, you were talking about North Carolina's defense here in the second half. After they lost that Florida State game, relinquishing that 24-point lead, they had a players-only meeting, and it came down to this, David Noel said. It's this simple. We haven't guarded people the way we know we can guard. We need to play team defense. He said that's the conclusion of the meeting. Certainly here in the second half, it's been a lot better. I think Roy Williams would like to have seen it this intense in the first half, guys.
I think you're absolutely right, Doris. You need to play the whole game that way.
And you know, Doris, when you look at it, there's no excuse for it. They got athletic ability, they're quick, and they're well coached. The coaches certainly teach defense. They have to make the commitment and really understand that to win big, they got to play on that defensive side of the floor. In terms of watching it on the tube, they could not believe when I heard Sports Center and score. They were shocked. You and I were shocked.
Imagine going to sleep, not seeing Sports Center, picking up the paper the next day. McCants for 3.
They need a basket badly right now. They've really been in a stride against the good defensive effort of North Carolina.
They have only had 9 field goal attempts in the second half. They have made 3 after shooting 58% in the first half. Foul trouble or, Lord forbid, have an injury.
I'll tell you, Mike, life in the ACC, the key is going to be, as you see the 4th foul on Scott, the key is going to be to avoid losing streaks. Right now, Wake Forest has lost 4 in a row. They're going to try to get out of it, but that is the key. Because in this league, you can lose 3, 4, 5 in a row quickly.
And missed by Hodge. It's only his first field goal attempt of the entire second half. Noel. Boy, used his body beautifully to get some space.
Michelangelo told me about him before he ever played. Dean Smith told me, he said, we got a special kid. It's going to help us. This crowd stands up. They appreciate the effort here in the second half by the Heels.
Hodge trying to get inside. The lead has grown to 10, the biggest lead of the game.
I think what's really impressive for North Carolina fans right now is the lead has gone up to 10, and it's gone up, as you see, a drought by North Carolina State. It's gone up in a 5-on-5 situation, both offensively and defensively, not with the transition game.
Hodge kicks it out. Atzer for 3, and stone cold is North Carolina State. You got to give credit to that Tar Heel defense.
You really do, Mike. They're doing a great job on that end and also executing in a half-court offensive set, not getting 3-on-1s and 2-on-1s.
A lot of the fans on their feet applauding.
And that's important when you get into tournament time, because the game becomes many a time a 5-on-5 game.
Today was fortunate he wasn't called for a 5-second pulse with Rucker. Shot clock at 6 for McCants against Hodge. Drives, forced it up, travel. The shot clock can make you hurry. We'll talk about Josh Powell, who left early from North Carolina State, when we come back.
North Carolina up 10 with 7:25 remaining in this basketball game. And Mike and Dick touched on this briefly in the first half. The absence of Josh Powell, a classmate of Marcus Melvin, in the where are they now category. Josh Powell, a guy who averaged 12 points, 5 boards for North Carolina State as they went to the NCAA tournament. And certainly against a team like North Carolina with Sean May inside, could have used Powell's body and his ability to score around the bucket, get some easy shots, maybe get to the free throw line, guys. Marcus Melvin also considered going to the NBA, guys. Obviously a good decision, and perhaps Powell a poster child for staying in school, Dick.
I'll tell you one thing, Doris, made a major mistake because he listened to all the wrong people rather than listen to that coaching staff who really had people explain to him that he was not going to be drafted. I wonder what goes through the minds of kids like him, certainly Omar Cook and Marcus Taylor.
Another telegraph pass by Hodge, knocked away, and finally knocked out of bounds by the Heels.
This is the best defense I have seen North Carolina play this year in the games I've done. This second half, their defensive effort's been super. They have really focused. They played as a team. They're helping one another, and that's why they're up 10.
It was tied at 47. The Heels have scored the last 10. That last foul came on Jackie Manuel. That's his 4th. And it'll be a 1-and-1 for the Wolfpack. And Eftimov will go to the line, an 81% free throw shooter. His older brother, Vasco, played at North Carolina about 5 years ago, if memory serves correctly.
They really need a run right now, North Carolina State. They need a spurt. They got to try to get this to the last 4 minutes where they're 4 or 5 down. Right now, they're down only 9, so, I mean, they're within range, especially the way they can shoot the 3. Bird sent him 2 years in a row, taking him to the NCAA tournament. Something that wasn't done for over a decade. He's got a nice coaching staff. Larry Hunter and Larry Harris. Harris, a former outstanding player from out of Pittsburgh.
57-49. They break the drought as we approach the 7-minute mark. Manuel gets it into May, and May, offensive foul. That will be 3 on Sean May.
Well, now they got to take advantage of this opportunity right here. They got to convert in this situation. Now as May trying to get post position inside. Oh, he pushes off. Look at the right arm. How could you possibly think you're going to get away with that? You tell me that, Mr. Patrick.
I don't know.
You're the father of the ACC behind the fight. Tell me that. How could you get away with that?
Well, you usually don't, and he didn't. Hodge.
He's going to attack the basket.
And does his first bucket of the second half.
He's got to take over. Smart players make big plays.
A great job by Manuel there, stopping and not traveling after he caught that ball.
Last 4 points to NC State. They need a stop right here.
That was their first field goal in 6.5 minutes, and still they're only down by 6.
See, right now, McCanty trying to post inside.
May was open, but he lost the ball. That pass was pretty tough to handle for a big guy down around his ankles.
The 3 would be big right here. Melvin very dangerous from the perimeter.
Hodge has got that look in his eye like he wants to do something. Backs it out with 21 on the shot clock. Guarded by Manuel, playing with 4 fouls.
They're trying to set a screen for Eftimov.
Melvin got it. He is a tremendous long-range shooter.
He's the guy we just talked about, the danger player on the floor who can shoot the 3, and he responded.
You know, his numbers aren't that great, 31% this year, but I have seen him when you just know he's going to make every one of them. Manuel slashes inside.
Nice play by Manuel down to the low post. High percentage. Take it to the goal. We got another typical ACC finish, baby. North Carolina trying to stop a 4-game losing streak to North Carolina State.
Hodge, crossover dribble. And a timeout by North Carolina State.
There's your guy, Jackie, on the inside. Scoring around the basket.
He is so athletic and uses his body so beautifully.
Now watch Melvin on the perimeter. With that great left-handed stroke.
And that's with May with a hand in his face from 23 feet. Tomorrow night, Morgan.
We're going to face a very angry Wake Forest team tomorrow. They didn't lose last year at home, but they lost 1 early in this week at home. And they've lost 4 in a row.
5:21 to go in this one. The lead is 5. Hodge had good position on Manuel. The pass was too high from Eftimov. The 18th turnover for North Carolina State. And at one point, Herb Sendek said the way we play, we can't have more than 13 turnovers a game.
Well, you know, it's not pretty watching them play. Art Chansky told me that today. From out here in Chapel Hill. But the bottom line is, nice pass.
What a pass by Felton to Noel. Dribbles through a double team and throws a strike.
David Noel getting free without the ball. That's all you got to do with a guy like Felton on the floor. He's got great vision.
Watkins, double teamed and fouled.
Well, next Thursday, my friend, you'll be out in Hawaii, and I'll be thinking about you. And I'll be right here for Duke and North Carolina.
You know what? I'll have one of those drinks with a little umbrella in it, but I'll be watching you. That Felton is great vision.
He's a great point guard. He has such an understanding. We have so many terrific point guards across America. Tomorrow we're going to see 2 good young ones in Gilchrist and Paul. From you go to Duke, you got Duhan outstanding.
Free throw, no good. And this is from the best free throw shooting team in the conference. The lead is 7.
They need to stop right here on the defensive side. This would be a dagger if they score this possession.
This win could get North Carolina back to 500 in the conference and break a 4-game losing streak against the Wolfpack.
And most of all, hold their home court. That's where you want to win. You got to win at home to steal some on the road.
Hatcher gives it up to Watkins. Melvin goes baseline, and that's kicked and out of bounds to NC State with a new shot clock.
He's got a great recruiting class coming in, both these schools next year. Tony Bethel sitting out, former Georgetown point guard. They tell me he's really been playing well in practice at North Carolina State. Next year, J.R. Smith coming in from New Jersey at St. Benedict.
Wide open on the baseline. Watkins instead takes it in against May. Not a good decision because May blocked it, but then Melvin followed.
Nice play by Melvin on the inside.
15 points for Marcus Melvin. The lead cut back to 5.
And that's what I said earlier. They're going to try to get it to 5 going in the last 4 minutes. That's where they're sitting right now.
Felton against the freshman Atsu.
If you're North Carolina State, you don't want the ball to get back to Scott Felton's hand.
May with a rebound. Missed the follow hook. Made it harder than it could have been.
You got to try to deny the ball to Felton, not let him get some touches when they get the ball in North Carolina.
Eftimov trying to drive. He's cut off.
Hodges got to try to get the ball. He's got to step to the ball.
Dangerous pass. Drive won't go. Tip back outside. Melvin has it. Nice job by Watkins. What was the call? Offensive foul on Melvin, his 3rd. Herb Sendek did not like the call, but with 3:25 to go, his team's down by 5, trying to hang on to that winning streak against the Heels. And our congratulations as well to John Chaney for number 700. Wonderful milestone for him.
Hall of Famer, he's got a date now. At Temple comes St. Joe's, and they're going to be ready to play down there.
See what Carolina can do with the last 3:19 and a 5-point lead. McCants runner won't go, but he draws the foul.
Good move by McCants, attacking the basket, taking the ball up strong. I'll tell you, North Carolina's got a kid coming in next year, Marvin Williams. You talk about strong. And at NC State, they got Cedric Simmons from out of West Brunswick High School, Supply, North Carolina. Some say the best in the state. Gavin Grant coming in as well from out of St. Raymond's in New York.
McCants a 70% free throw shooter. And now the Heels have hit 12 out of 15 from the line.
It's been a good win for North Carolina because they would show that they could win a game in the 60s as opposed to just going up and down a floor scoring 100.
McCants hits them both. McCants has 11. Well below his 18.8 conference leading average.
Mike, we're getting into must possessions right now. These are must situations for NC State.
And they can't afford any more turnovers.
Wow.
Hodge with a runner.
I mean, you got to take over if you're the star. People predict you to be the best player in the conference. Actually, he was picked number 2 right behind Felton, and he wasn't happy about that.
North Carolina will use a timeout with 2:52 to go. They lead by 5.
Just flip it up. These are the Big 4. I think the Big East, the Big 12, the SEC, I think it's a down year for the Pac-10. And I think the Big 10 would agree it's not been a vintage Big 10 year this year for them. Conference USA is pretty good as well, though, with Cincinnati, Louisville, and Marquette.
You know, in the top 7 in the ACC, I think any one of those teams has a chance to beat the other. And the last 2 right now, Virginia and Clemson, you better pay attention when you're playing those guys, too.
Especially at their place. I think this year you'll see 7 teams get a berth out of the ACC. 7. I really believe that. I think Florida State is going to join the 6 that we know are going to get berths. I really believe they're going to get 7. They've had 4 in the last 2 years.
Good ball movement by the Heels. 15 on the shot clock. 2:39 on the game clock.
They have shown some patience and poise in a 5-on-5 half-court scene. They're trying to get the lift to May against Eftimov.
He's double teamed and they take it away.
I thought they fouled him inside.
I did too.
No call.
Looked like somebody grabbed an arm from behind.
It's a big possession. Got to get a score here. Now you got to think a little bit of a drive off Hodge. Maybe a pass off the drive.
Trying to clear it out for Hodge, and Hodge had it knocked away by Scott. Another turnover for Hodge, and Noel is mugged on the way in by Melvin. That was a dangerous, dangerous foul. The fourth on Marcus Melvin.
Transition basketball. Here they come. There's the kick out. There's the grab. That's intentional, no doubt about it. They don't call it intentional. They say he's going for the ball.
That is an intentional foul, and I think that is a foul that has to be called more often. Otherwise, you're going to get more of this stuff, and Noel could have been hurt.
Yeah, 2 shots in the ball there. That's what should have been the call. There was no doubt he intentionally tried to stop him from making the score.
Noel hits the first, he'll get another.
You know, the argument is they go for the ball, but come on, give me a break right there.
It's not much of an argument.
I got one eye, and you can tell that was an intentional foul.
7 for Noel. Big-time football recruit as a wide receiver, and the Heels have done a great job at the free throw line in this game.
Yeah, last year was the other way around, 22 to 22 out of North Carolina State.
Now the lead is 7, and the tough part of this is if you're North Carolina State, you can't use 40 seconds to run your offense. And that's goaltending on May.
Not a good play by May.
No.
Let it go up there to the rim. The ball had a chance to go in. That's why they called the goaltending call. Interference.
How about the Rolling Rock shooting the rock tonight? NC State, 45% on the season, 52% tonight. And people have been shooting over 50% against North Carolina.
Yes, they have.
It drives Roy Williams nuts.
Shoot that rock, baby. That's the cry. John Stokes about Anaconda where he developed the rock.
It's a two-possession game right now, and the Heels trying to work some time off the clock.
They need to stop right here defensively. McCants going to attack the basket.
Shot clock at 4. McCants goes baseline over Hodge. Tough angle, can't hit it.
Oh, tough break.
And saved by Hodge. Levi Watkins went down, nearly lost it out of bounds.
Trying to reverse it for a 3.
Hatcher with a 3, and that's huge. Cuts the lead to 2.
They reverse the ball out to Hatcher, and he knocks down the 3. He's been a little inconsistent shooting.
Crowd's on its feet. Under a minute.
And it gets some motion offensively.
Felton trying to penetrate against Hatcher. This is Scott, and now a timeout for Roy Williams with 47.3 on the game clock. 18 on the shot clock.
Well, obviously, right now, you're NC State. You don't want to foul. You're going to get the basketball. You're going to get the ball back. A save by Hodge was certainly big. And the ball's going down to the deck. Looks like it's going to roll out of bounds. There's the agility and the balance of Mr. Hodge to get the ball.
Especially you don't want to foul right now, Dick, because North Carolina is blazing hot from the line.
Also, they did a great job. NC State reversing the ball. Now watch the ball reverse. And there's Hatcher stepping up to the three-point line.
And what a save by Melvin. Not only does he make the catch falling out of bounds, but makes the perfect pass back to the freshman so he can knock down the 3. That's just great awareness by Marcus Melvin.
North Carolina a little slow rotating to the shooter at the three-point line, but they did a great job, Melvin, right there, and also Hodge on the other side. Now you're North Carolina, you want the high percentage shot. You want to make sure the right people are touching the ball late in the game, and especially with this crucial possession.
The possession arrow favors North Carolina State. Any foul will be 2 shots from here on out.
My friends, the scenario very simple. North Carolina State is sitting at 4-1 in the conference. They are in a situation with 4 in a row and beating North Carolina 4 in a row. Bottom line is North Carolina is trying to get to 500 in the conference. 18 ticks right here. They got to make sure the ball's in Felton's hands, and he's got to create with his penetration ability. Spread the court and let him create with a drive, Mike. Yes, sir. Give it to him. Spread the court. Isolate. Take the clock.
Shot clock at 15.
They don't handle a rock better than this kid, baby.
Hatcher, the freshman, picks him up.
Nice curl move.
McCants against Eftimov. Great play. 2-possession game.
Great play right there. Nice little curl move, and the chance again shows what I talked about several times. Take the ball. Watching him play so often with this unbelievable athletic ability, his agility, and his ability to get to the basket with quickness. Why he wants to just become a three-point shooter.
It's more fun out there.
Well, he wants to show all the scouts I can shoot the long-range jumper. Well, forget about the scouts. The heck with what they think. Play in college. Stay in college. Too many young kids go too quickly and miss the greatest times in their life. Is it better than this? Come on now. It's not better than this anywhere.
You realize as many times as we have talked about this, as much as we dislike it, as much as we hate to see the game disrupted, it's not going to change, is it?
Chuck's too high.
Yeah.
Only change if they listen to David Stern and go to a 20-year-old age limit.
North Carolina has no timeouts remaining. NC State has 2. NC State down by 4. Hodge can't take time like this.
Exactly. He's got to run the ball up the court. You don't want to foul if you're North Carolina.
Double team against Hodge. Gives it up. Watkins goes baseline under pressure. Pull-up jump shot, and he missed it. And May gets it out to Felton. Fouled by Hodge with 13.3 seconds to go.
They did a good job in that defensive possession and a poor job by North Carolina State. Herb Sunday's going to be very upset with the way they executed that last possession.
You know, Dick, twice Levi Watkins has had a baseline jumper from about 12 feet and passed on him, gone inside, and both times he's had it knocked down.
Oh, this crowd is alive. These people really love their basketball as a special passion. This has always been one of my favorite places to come to. It's like a museum. My respect and my admiration for what Dean Smith achieved has been so special.
16 out of 19 is a team for North Carolina. And this is the tradition that Roy Williams wants to reestablish. He served 10 years as Dean Smith's assistant. Second free throw, no good, but it may not matter.
2 possessions. I mean, you got a miracle if they come back to win this game.
Hodge, a runner from 3. Got it back, tips it outside. Etzer hits the 3. Only 1.3 seconds to play.
Well, right now.
Let's check in with Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, Mike, we talked at the top of this telecast about NC State's road woes. 1-4 coming into this basketball game, but statistically they were better tonight on the road. 53% from the field, 37% from three-point territory, 73%, but only 11 trips. They are improving on the road. They're going to have this kind of effort continue down the way, guys.
Doris, the thing that's interesting to me is we mentioned this earlier, the stretch that is coming up for North Carolina State, because they have to play at Maryland this weekend and then Wake Forest
at home.
And I mean, you see these little pockets, not necessarily of opportunity, but pockets of real danger for these teams, and you can quickly go from 2nd to 7th in this league.
Well, you know, what about at Florida State? They had lost 4 in a row, and they're staring at a game with North Carolina, Wake Forest, and Duke. So you're looking at a 7-game losing streak, and they go in and win 2 games you don't expect. Right now in the inbounds of the basketball, you got to make certain right here you get the ball in play. You want to make sure you make a sure pass. You want no steal here.
And the steal is about the only thing that will make a difference. And we remind you again, Throwdown Thursday, we'll have Maryland against Wake, Florida State against Duke. That should be a couple of great games. Dick and Doris and I will be over in Winston-Salem at the Joel Coliseum.
I'll see you there tomorrow.
Absolutely. Here. NC State needs a steal. Trying to inbounds to Felton. They throw it long. And boy, McKeon's got away with a push-off.
Well, the only thing you want to be careful there, if you throw it and you don't hit anybody, it goes out of bounds. The ball's taken out down under that basket. But it worked. They got the win. Great effort defensively by North Carolina in the second half.
North Carolina snaps a 4-game losing streak against NC State. They get back to 500 in the ACC standings. The final 68-66. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Doris Burke and Dick Vitale, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching. Now from Houston, Jim Durham, Phil Walton, and Jim Gray.